right. My grind too tight. This head rhyme too nice. This my world, my life. One shot, who me? Take that, ooh-wee. One shot, movie. That's all you need. One shot, who me? Take that, ooh-wee. One shot, movie. That's all you need.
One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, where London will...
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by the 9th-year starter out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week. All he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 17 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown.
They put a lot of effort into game planning and establishing this ground game last week, and reward was a nice day rushing the ball. Helped them put a balanced offense out on the field. And that carry is an indicator that this ground game wants to be established again this week.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Now Carr. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. The Saints at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they were looking good until last week's loss took them from the ranks of the unbeaten.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this team to push the 72 Dolphins, but still, you got to take a lot of positives from this first month. If they can bounce back and move to 3-1, they'll be pretty well set up for the remainder of the season to follow.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. To throw his Carr. He gets this one complete to Traquan.
More than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st. Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca. 2nd and 5 now. Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now Carr. Chris Olave. And some space here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Jet sweep. Carr backs it forward. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
It becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. This take it in at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 18 carries, 63 yards.
I can remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the 1st drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. One out. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen 1 touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to... And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now an end around as Cousins will just pop this forward. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Back to the ground, Cook. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Six 0 our score after 1. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Osborne. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get down.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not he came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Taken down by Pete Warner.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw here complete to Kelsey. Touchdown, Vikings! Travis Kelsey, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Vikings have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
Two fantastic games coming up to wrap up Week 4, the first weekend in October. Tonight, the Chiefs and Buccaneers from Tampa. That's a rematch of Super Bowl 55, of course. And then Monday night, rematch of last year's NFC Championship game, the Rams and Niners from Santa Clara. Coverage on that one, 8:15 Eastern. And this will wind up as Saints first down as the tackle made here at the 36.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
From the 38, Carr. Olave over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
Receiver factor at Ohio State turned out an NFL-ready deep threat this year in Olave, who New Orleans jumped up to get at number 11. The Saints learned last year they need another defense breaker in their receiver room to allow a little bit of space to throw underneath. Sub 4.4 speed and the history of turning deep routes into touchdowns made Chris Olave their guy, and he gets them the first down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
To throw, it's Carr. Downfield, and he's got Olave. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 28. That one goes for 24 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Kamara up the middle. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Complete. It's Johnson. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with career touchdown number 70. And the Saints have retaken the lead. So now here's Derek Carr leading his guys up to go for 2. Carr will look to throw. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. They start the drive with Cook, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Cousins' throw going to be caught by Davis. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. We've hit the 2-minute mark for the 2nd quarter. 14-7. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And taken right at the 35. It'll be a 39-yard punt, give him a good 10 yards on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right. Carr now on 1st down.
He's got Smith here. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. On second down, Kamara. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. From the gun, it's Carr. The pass caught by Olave. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
The final shot here before half for Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. And we'll jump right over halftime and keep the game going here in Week 4. Second half kickoff ready to go. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Cousins. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Cook up the gut. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Tyrann Mathieu there to make the tackle.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They have certainly looked his way in this third quarter. Another catch, and it's good for a first down. They run with a 4th-year man. This is Damian Harris. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run. And that's a nice job there, getting the safeties involved in run support.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. They go play action. Cousins. Step interception. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And that was Carlos Dunlap who got in to take him down.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. To throw is Cousins. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. Joseph's got it, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. A 10th carry for Kamara. Room here to run. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 54 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ballgame.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Carr. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Quentin Jefferson breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive
and pressure coming, and they got him once again. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Taking it about the 16 and able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with this 4-point 4th quarter lead. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On play action, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. I mean, what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Free kick out of bounds.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. It's Kelsey on the ground. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Ball start. Offense.
And the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Here's Cousins. Completes it to Davis. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. A 1st down throw for Cousins. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Throwing, Cousins. Throw caught there by Osborne. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that pass. And it's worked out quite well.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Again, it's Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
On 2nd and goal, Cousins. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
flush to his right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. Fourth down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph for Minnesota. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Joseph is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Trying to run down some clock with Kamara, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
Maybe old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
Got an open man. It's Olave. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. To throw is Carr. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you've got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Jet sweep, Carr backs it forward. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the...
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Saints look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. By rule, that comes out to the 40-yard line, so good opportunity for this offense with solid field position. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't, it's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. First down now, but that clock rolling. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
On 2nd and 10, Cousins. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Right back to Davis. It's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Counting down to 30 seconds remaining. Over the middle, complete. That's Cook. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. They'll throw again. Cousins. Looking towards the sideline, finding Kelsey for the completion. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Third and short yardage, Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Osborne. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game, but these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slide.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond its years. So for the Saints, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours.